2019 will make or break Star Wars. Hello there, welcome to Pacemaker Gaming's latest video on the Star Wars and the future of 2019. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and drop a like on this video if you've enjoyed it. So let's start off with the big one. So let's start off with Star Wars Episode 9. So Star Wars Episode 9 is currently being directed by J.J. Abrams and it will release on December the 20th. It's going to be the final installment of the Skywalker sequel saga, which has been over 40 years worth of storytelling, so there really is a lot resting on this film. Other than that, Episode 9 will have to be more than just a good film. It's going to have to be a great Star Wars movie, and I think we're well deserved of one. It's going to have to reconnect the fans, because after The Last Jedi, no matter whether you liked the film or you didn't like the film, there's been a clear divide in the Star Wars fan base since that film arrived, and I think everyone within reason can see that has evidently happened. So this film is going to be more than just having to be another Star Wars film. It's got to be a Star Wars film that reconnects the fans, gives us those great Star Wars movements that we're after, and reconnect the franchise. If we take it back a bit and talk about, let's say, Justice League, which was an okay film, not a great film, not a good film, an okay movie. It would have had to have been a phenomenal film to repair the DCU, which it wasn't, and which is one of the reasons why the DCU is in the state it was in now. And in order to fix that, the Justice League movie would have had to have been fantastic, but it wasn't. And since then, the DCU franchise hasn't really taken off. And don't get me wrong, Star Wars is in a much better position and a much better shape than the DCU by leaps and bounds better. But after Episode 8, we need a great Star Wars film to bring the fans back together. So now let's talk about this year, so 2018. So what have we had for Star Wars in movies? Well, we had Solo, which everyone is well aware of. There was a huge boycott for the Solo movie, and a lot of people seem generally uninterested with the concept of the Solo Star Wars movie. Looking at the figures, so the Solo movie only made $392.9 million at the box office. A massive disappointment for a movie franchise as big as Star Wars. It only made $392.9 million at the box office. That is insane. Rogue One, the sequel movie, the Star Wars sequel movie, the first Star Wars sequel movie that we got, made over $1 billion, $1.056 billion at the US box office. Solo made 63% less at the box office than Rogue One. That is a horrific figure. Disney can't afford another failure like Solo, Star Wars films. And it's because of the failure of Solo, the Star Wars film, that the releases of future Star Wars spin-offs, like the Kenobi movie, which was highly anticipated, have been delayed. And this is a shame, because the Star Wars franchise is one of my favourite franchises by far. I'm really looking forward to a Kenobi movie. I mean, I think the idea of a movie all about Obi-Wan Kenobi, if it's set in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, I mean, it's just a perfect timeline to explore the Obi-Wan Kenobi storyline. There's plenty of material in the canon comics for them to follow to make a really great film. It's just a shame that the box office failure of Solo has delayed that. So Disney can't really afford any more mistakes like that when it comes to film. That was one of the most expensive Star Wars films ever to be made. So to come in with a box office revenue of only over 300 million is incredibly disappointing. So let's talk about TV now. So what have we got? What is coming up in 2019? So we have The Mandalorian in 2019. And the thing about this is that Star Wars fans generally seem to be excited about this new series, which is great to see and very encouraging. Pedro Pascal is rumoured to play the main character. This show will be appearing on Disney's new up-and-coming streaming service and will be the first live-action TV series for Star Wars, which is well needed. The fact that this is going to be the only live-action content we've got in a while is incredibly surprising, but this is well needed. We've had the cartoons, we've had the animations, we've had the anime take on Star Wars Resistance, if you will. Some live-action TV is well deserved and well needed. The expectations for this TV show are high, and I generally want this series to be a success. I think the idea of a space western focused on the Star Wars criminal underworld with a Mandalorian main character sounds awesome. This show has to be a success in order to contribute towards the increase in the Star Wars fan base. So there's a lot at stake here, but this one I'm quite confident with The Mandalorian. Jon Favreau is a good director. I respect him as a director. He makes some very good films and some very good content. So I'm generally looking forward to watching this TV series. And speaking of animations, the Clone Wars Season 7 will be arriving. Although there is no confirmed release date, it is going to be on the new Disney's streaming service, so it's expected to arrive within late 2019 or early 2020. This is a show that is at the heart of a lot of Star Wars fans and has actually generated quite a lot of Star Wars fans. So this show I'm not so concerned about. I don't see this show going too wrong. It's still being directed by Dave Filoni, and we're getting 12 more episodes to the Clone Wars series. The Clone Wars series is loved by many, and this should be a great addition to Star Wars content within 2019, and hopefully generate even more fans and generate even more of those fan favourite moments that we all love to see. On to gaming. So we had Star Wars Battlefront 2. It had a very tough year. The search interest in YouTube for Battlefront 2 has dropped 91% since its original launch, which is again horrendous figures. Unlike Fortnite, another online multiplayer game which I'm sure you've all heard of, which is surprisingly still actually growing in search interest since its launch. The Clone Wars DLC was a great addition to the game and certainly helped increase overall interest, but the game still has a long way to go until it can reverse its negative trend in search interest in YouTube. Anakin and Count Dooku arrive in January and February, along with a large-scale game mode, similar to Conquest mode from the original Battlefront, and hopefully these two additions will help to drive the overall growth to the game. So 2019 will certainly be a huge year for Star Wars, and I'm certainly optimistic of that and the future that holds. I have faith that J.J. Abrams is the right director to complete the Star Wars sequels and reconnect the fan base. But the movies, the TV shows, and the gaming, there is a lot at stake here for the Star Wars franchise. I hope they all do well, but we're all going to have to wait and see. So what are your thoughts? What do you think will happen for the future of Star Wars in 2019? I'm personally looking forward to it. I hope that we don't have any more mistakes, and I hope that Disney have learned from their mistakes, especially from Solo. And I look forward to the year that 2019 has to bring. So happy New Year all guys. I hope you have a great night 2019. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and leave a like on the video if you've enjoyed it so far. And I'll see you all on the next Star Wars video.